My son's mistress turned out to be my best friend's daughter who disappeared 20 years ago. And when I confronted her, she looked me dead in the eye and said, "I know exactly who you are, Mrs. Chen. Let me take you back to how this all started. I thought I had the perfect family. My son David, 25, was everything a mother could ask for. Successful marketing executive, kind heart, always called me twice a week. He'd been with his girlfriend Emma for 2 years, and I was secretly hoping for grandchildren soon. My best friend Sarah and I had been inseparable for 30 years. We'd weathered everything together: divorces, career changes, raising our kids. But there was always this shadow over our friendship. Her daughter Lily had vanished when she was just 7 years old. One minute she was playing in Sarah's backyard, the next she was gone. No trace. No leads. It destroyed Sarah's marriage and nearly broke her completely. The first sign something was wrong came during David's birthday dinner last month. He seemed distracted, constantly checking his phone. When I asked about Emma, he got defensive. "She's busy with work, Mom. Not everyone can make every family dinner." But it wasn't just that. He'd started staying out later, making excuses about client meetings that didn't add up. I'd raised this boy, I knew when he was lying. Then came the credit card statements. Designer clothes, expensive jewelry, hotel rooms. Way more than his salary could handle. When I confronted him, he brushed it off. "I got a bonus, Mom. Can't a guy treat his girlfriend?" But Emma still wasn't wearing any new jewelry when she finally showed up to our family barbecue. She was sweet, polite, everything you'd want in a future daughter-in-law. 27 years old with striking green eyes and long auburn hair. Something about her seemed familiar, but I couldn't place it. Everything changed last Tuesday. I was at David's apartment dropping off his mail when I heard voices from his bedroom. A woman's voice I didn't recognize. Definitely not Emma. "When are you going to tell your mother about us?" she said. My heart stopped. He's cheating on Emma? I crept closer to the door. Through the crack, I saw David with a woman I'd never seen before. Blonde, older, maybe in her 30s. She was wearing the jewelry I'd seen on his credit card statements. Soon, David replied. "I just need to figure out how to break it to Emma first." I backed away, my hands shaking. My perfect son was a cheater. But that wasn't even the worst part. As I was leaving, I saw a photo on his kitchen counter that made my blood run cold. It was the mystery woman, but she wasn't alone. She was standing next to a man who looked exactly like Sarah's ex-husband Mark. The same Mark who disappeared shortly after Lily went missing all those years ago. I grabbed the photo and ran. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept staring at the woman's face, trying to piece together why she looked so familiar. Then it hit me, I pulled out my phone and scrolled through old photos until I found what I was looking for. Sarah's family Christmas card from 20 years ago. Little 7-year-old Lily, with the same green eyes, the same bone structure. If you aged her 20 years and bleached her hair. Oh my God. This can't be real. I confronted David the next morning. Showed him the photo, told him what I suspected. "Mom, you're being crazy," he said. But his face went pale. "David, I think your mistress might be Lily Morrison. Sarah's missing daughter." That's when he broke down. The whole story came pouring out. Her name was actually Sophia now. She'd contacted him 6 months ago through social media, said she was new in town and looking to meet people. They'd started as friends, but it quickly became more. She'd told him she was an only child, that her parents died in a car accident when she was young. She seemed so lost, Mom. Like she needed someone to take care of her. But here's where it gets worse. When I showed him the old photo of Lily, his face went white. "She has the same birthmark," he whispered. "A crescent moon on her shoulder blade. She told me it was from a childhood accident." Sarah had mentioned that birthmark 100 times over the years. It was one of the identifying features in all the missing person reports. I knew I had to see this woman face to face. I waited outside David's apartment building until she showed up. When I approached her, calling her Lily, she didn't even flinch. "Hello, Mrs. Chen," she said calmly. I wondered when we'd finally meet. The way she said my name sent chills down my spine. Like she'd been planning this conversation for years. "You know who I am," I said. It wasn't a question. "I've known who you were the moment I started dating your son. I've known who Sarah Morrison was my entire life. And I know exactly what you people did to me. What we did to her." "What is she talking about?" That's when she dropped the bomb that changed everything. "Your husband didn't die in that car accident 15 years ago, Mrs. Chen. My father killed him. Because your husband was going to tell everyone what really happened to me." My legs gave out. I grabbed onto a lamp post to steady myself. "My father didn't kidnap me," she continued. "You people sold me to him. Sarah Morrison isn't my mother, she's the woman who took money to let her drug dealer boyfriend traffic her own daughter." The world was spinning. None of this made sense. "That's impossible. Sarah loved Lily. She never stopped looking for you." Sophia laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Sarah needed drug money. Your husband was her dealer's accountant. He arranged everything. Made it look like a kidnapping when really, I was sold to a trafficking ring." She pulled out her phone and showed me documents. Bank statements. Photos. Evidence that painted a picture so horrific I couldn't process it. I spent 12 years being passed around by monsters. But I survived. I got free. And I've spent the last 8 years tracking down everyone involved. This can't be real. This can't be happening. Your son was never the target, she said. He's just collateral damage. I'm here for justice. Your husband kept detailed records before my father killed him. Records that implicate Sarah, her boyfriend, and 6 other people in a trafficking network that destroyed dozens of children's lives. I was crying now, but she wasn't done. I don't want to hurt David. I actually care about him. But Sarah Morrison is going to pay for what she did to me. And if you try to warn her, I'll make sure those records find their way to the FBI. She walked away, leaving me sobbing on the sidewalk. But here's the thing, I couldn't let this destroy my son. And despite everything, I couldn't let Sarah go down for something she might not have done. I needed answers. I went home and tore through my late husband's office. If he really was involved in something like this, there would be evidence. It took me 3 days, but I found it. A safety deposit box key hidden in his old briefcase. What I found in that box made me sick. Financial records, photographs, names, and dates. My husband had been documenting everything, probably planning to turn everyone in. But he died before he could. The record showed Sarah wasn't a willing participant. She'd been threatened, coerced. Her daughter was taken as leverage to force her cooperation. But there were other names on those lists. People I'd known for years. Respected members of our community who'd been part of something unspeakable. I called Sophia and told her I had the full records. We met at a coffee shop, and I handed over everything. I'm sorry, I told her. I had no idea what my husband was involved in. But Sarah was a victim too. She studied the documents, tears streaming down her face. I know, she whispered. I figured that out about 6 months ago. But I was so angry, I didn't care. That's when she told me the rest of her story. How she'd escaped at 19, how she'd spent years in therapy, how she'd dedicated her life to tracking down trafficking networks and helping other survivors. I fell in love with David for real, she admitted. That wasn't part of the plan. And now I don't know how to tell him who I really am without destroying everything. Together, we came up with a plan. We'd turn over all the evidence to the FBI.